Okay, Homeland and Organizational Security, this is the review for Test 2. So let's go over the possible essay questions that you may have for the test. It's going to be 2 of the 4. So if you're familiar with, the material for those topics, you should be fine. So question 1, on the subject of lone wolf terrorists. If you understand the theories and the situational circumstances behind that phenomena, lone wolf terrorists, you'll be fine on an essay question. Another question that may be on the essay portion of the test 2 will be, or may be, the key advantages to terrorists recruiting efforts. If we understand that, some of the impediments, everything that goes into that batch, you'll be fine on that. Another question that may be on the essay portion, the root meaning of anarchy. What's everything that goes into that setting? Anarchists, terrorists, or the root word anarchy. And lastly, a question that could be an essay question. Argentina's disappeared program. What was that all about? What did it encompass? So if you understand those 4 possible questions, you'll be fine on the essay part of the exam. Now let's go over topics that will be covered in the exam. The concept of Muslim-controlled zones or neighborhoods, understand that because that will be on the test. The levels of involvement in terrorist organizations. The country of Haiti and its long-standing forces, Tauntaun forces, the private militias, Duvalier, that family. What was that all about? What went into that mixture? And the phenomena of modified foods. I think that will be on the exam, on exam 2. So what was that all about, and what's the phrase that they gave that type of food? What about the CIA and covert operations or actions against terrorist organizations? What arm of the CIA did they use for those actions? What is counterterrorism, counterintelligence, and geospatial intelligence? We can't forget, what are the roles of the FBI respectively and the CIA? We know that one is domestic and one works on the global setting or outside of the country, international. What can we think about regarding those 2 organizations? Do you understand the Christian patriot movement? What's the thinking behind an organization like that? And we can't forget the sovereign citizens movement. What goes into their line of thinking, their actions, etc. Nativism, I think we talked about that quite a bit. What goes into that mixture as well? That will be on the test. And what about alternate forms of currency or remittance, i.e. hint, hint, wink, wink, nod, nod, Bitcoin and other forms of payment, Hawala. Let's not forget what goes into that. Don't forget the history of the anarchist wave and what went into that. Don't forget to understand, or the understanding behind, the premise of state terrorism. If you understand that, then you're good to go on that area of the test. And lastly, who were the students for a democratic society? I think they went by another name. Make sure you're up to speed on that. And if you remember everything regarding that movement, if you remember everything that I just mentioned, or if you can recall it and think on it, you'll be fine for the test. I know you'll do well. And I look forward to seeing you in class.